Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is TechnicallyTee and we are finally back on YouTube and making content. Now I have been going for a minute. If you didn't know, I was having this whole debacle about what camera I wanted to choose, So the whole journey, man, basically what happened was I went out and purchased the Panasonic G85. I shot that one video in 4K and I will link that video above if anybody wants to see the quality of 4K of the Panasonic G85. As soon as I shot that video and threw it up on Final Cut, I really didn't like it. But as you always say, put up video anyway because it can be an example, for somebody who could be possibly picking up the G85. But what I hated about that camera was what everybody talked about, and that was the autofocus. Now the autofocus was hunting all over the place, man. I messed with that camera before that video and after that video trying to figure out the best autofocus settings, and I could not figure it out, man. So I just got extremely frustrated, packed it back up in the box and sent it right back to B&H and got that refund. So back on the research one more time. So this time I'm really have my mind set on either the A6300, which I could have got for a very good price because I know a friend selling one, or I could have went the route and got the A6500, which is still a little bit expensive right now unless you go out and find one on the used market. So I started to look at those, and just the whole reason of why I didn't choose them in the first place because how many cons it had and what I had to do to actually set up, shoot quick. Don't want to do too much grading, but I'm looking for the ease of shooting. I'm not a professional. I'm not out here making cinematic motion pictures for people, man. So I'm basically shooting quick videos, unboxings and case reviews and different things like that. I don't need to be super duper high quality when I'm doing that. So I kind of left the Alpha series alone again. Then I just said, you know what? I heard about the Canon M50, but I decided I was gonna leave Canon because I really didn't care for their 1080. So after doing extensive research just about different camera quality and the picture profiles and everything like that, stumbled across and really started to look at the M50. So I looked at the internet and it was by far one of the most hated cameras, especially mirrorless cameras that came out in 2018. And that's basically due to the crop factor on the 4K. When you shoot in 4K, it does have I think a 2.6 crop factor when you're shooting in 4K. So, and I understand Canon's reason for doing it, but it does suck. But anyway, I looked at everything, looked at probably every video on YouTube about the M50. So I reached out to my man Jay Will. I reached out to T Frank. If those guys, they know their cameras. I know T Frank really knows their cameras, and I know me and Jay Will have a similar mindset when it comes to the quality of channels. And they both really gave the M50 high praises. I went to Best Buy, checked it out, did some more research trying to figure out what lens I wanted to run because I didn't want to run the kit lens because the kit lens aren't going to give you that much a great quality. So after all of that research, I said, you know what? I'm going to get the M50 just because of the flip out articulating screen. It has a good amp already in it to hook up an external mic. I'm already used to Canon systems. I love the color profiles. I'm just used to it. And the lenses are a lot cheaper and you get a broader selection of lenses. So I said, you know what, man? I pulled the trigger, went ahead and ordered and picked up this Canon M50 at Best Buy today. And the lens that I'm shooting with right now is the Canon, so I'm gonna let that go ahead and focus. As you see, this is the Canon 22mm f2, and that's basically where it's at right now. It's basically at the f2. The autofocus is good. You already know Canon has that dual pixel autofocus, and it's probably the best autofocus there is when it comes to a camera. Now I know Sony has phase detection, but I really don't think it has anything on dual pixel autofocus. I think everybody know, if you're not too much of a fanboy, you know that it is the best autofocus system out there. So right now I am loving it. This is the first video. The 4K crop is not an issue because I already did a test video of 4K, and it all depends on the lens that you choose and the distance that you're away from the camera. Everybody, when they reviewed this camera, they reviewed it as a vlogging camera, but I'm not doing any vlogging. Everybody doesn't vlog. So everybody, I wish they would use and review a camera for what it is, for what it's capable of, instead of saying, oh, it's for vloggers. Everything is not for vloggers. You know what I mean? I'm not doing any vlogging at all. And if I do a vlog, it's for like cars and stuff like that I make it into. I'm not doing any vlogging. So therefore, this camera works good when it is stationary on a tripod. I can put it all the way back to my room. I have a good distance. This is hand distance away from where I am right now. This is hand distance. I'm actually touching the lens almost. So I can actually scoot it back a little bit more and I will get the same field of view in 4K. So it's all about the lens, and I'm gonna get an even wider lens so it can even get wider and further back, and I can really shoot 4K then. So the 4K is not a crippling factor when it comes to the Canon M50. It's not about the features, it's actually about how you use your equipment. And I wish everybody would kind of get off their high horse when they're saying, oh, it sucks. But no, it doesn't. You use your equipment for what you want to use it for, and then you learn to use it, and you learn to work around those shortcomings that a camera may have, but I don't really consider it shortcomings. So I'm not recording this video in 4K because I wanted to get a video up real quick. I'm going to probably set up something to where I can dial in my manual focus, maybe like a little stick figure or something that can imitate my face right here, so I can dial in the manual focus because I am a one-man show. So I'm going to get that so when I do these type of videos, they will be in 4K. But when I'm doing any overhead unboxing case reviews, those don't have to be in 4K. 1080p is just fine for those videos. So finally, I got my camera. I am satisfied. I do not think I'm going to return this camera because it reminds me so much of my SL2, except it has a few more upgrades. Let me know in the comment section below how you like the quality. I think Canon's 1080 was so soft, but I'm coming from a person where I didn't mess with any of the color profiles. I didn't do any, didn't mess with the sharpness or anything like that. So I am starting to mess with my color profiles and different setups and different things like that to get a better picture. So let me know how you like the quality below. If there's anything that you want to know about the Canon M50, because I know a lot of people may come to this video thinking I know all about cameras and I don't. This is from your average consumer who's not a professional photographer. So if you have the extra regular question when it comes to the Canon M50, be sure to ask it below. But guys, I have a lot of videos lined up for you to go ahead and start shooting with this, and I'm gonna love shooting with this camera. I plan on live streaming with this camera. I plan on doing everything with it, guys. So stay tuned to the channel. Drop a like in the comment section down below, man. Drop a like on the video, subscribe, do whatever you need to do, and I'll catch you on the next video. Later.